Well, hello and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Strategies with Danette Moss. And joining me in the studio is the awesome Marjorie Mallard. I'm so excited to have you here.
I'm excited to be here.
I'm like, we got to do something live.
Absolutely.
So this is extremely important for me, and I'm honored. Anytime someone can come in with the knowledge that you have, not only help me out, but help my audience out. This is really going to be a good topic today, Marjorie.
Yes.
And again, I'm excited to have you here. If you are just now joining us here for the first time, I'm Danette Moss. I'm known as the strategy lady out in the social media streets. But I love to let everyone know that I'm also that woman who knows everything about business strategies and implementing those things and putting them into the best position to help you take your life to the next level. I'm all about helping those female CEOs go from overwhelmed in their business to putting that business on rinse and repeat. And I do this using the SAS framework.
I love it.
You know, we got to get in there talking
That's
about
right.
that.
Love it.
And if you all are wondering what SAS stands for, it stands for Simplify, Automate, Systematize, and Streamline Your Business. So we're going to talk some things all about this topic of strategy. We're getting ready to get into it because I was speaking with Marjorie the other day, and I had her to come on down so we can have a more intimate conversation.
Yes.
So we can talk more about how we can empower other female CEOs to be strategic in their business. Marjorie, do me a favor and tell us, not just me, tell the audience, what's your take on what does strategic or strategy mean to you?
Absolutely. Firstly, I just wanted to say a great big thank you for having me here. I am super excited to be here and to be able to work with you in assisting the CEOs out there as we talk about strategies, right? Because it's super important for business and for life. As Ms. Danette said, I am Marjorie Mallard. I'm your Childcare Business Franchise Consultant as well as your business strategist. And what I like to do is help you ladies navigate the complexities of running a business, all of those complex frameworks there, but through business planning. And you know, Danette, when I think about strategies, oh my goodness, my head dives into and focuses on one particular area. And in that area, it's just formulating certain specific systems and intricacies, right? So we could make our workflow easier, right?
Definitely.
More productive, right? Less overwhelming, and just to be able to have certain systems put together in a particular order.
Definitely.
So that we could reach our end game, our end goal, following a roadmap, following a system, following a list of certain components where we could just focus and go straight to where we want to go.
You know, Marjorie, I believe that, and I love what you were saying, you hit on so many points. I truly believe, though, when it comes to being strategic in business, I'm going to look here and tell you all, the first thing that we need to do is have some clarity.
Yes.
You know?
Absolutely.
And I find that quite often we're all over the place, which causes so many problems. It puts us in a space of not just scarcity, because when you're not clear on things, you really operate in scarcity mode.
Yes.
Trust me, I know.
Yeah.
Been there, done that, and I
Same
always
here.
pray that I don't get back in that mode. But when I find myself operating with scarcity, I know that I'm off balance.
Right.
And okay, so are you not clear on the key things that you need to be clear on? You know, so I think about being strategic. First things first, we need to be clear.
Most certainly. And a lot of people, unfortunately, don't realize that. When they first get into business, or even if they've been in business for quite some time, and they have a new product, service, or offering that they're trying to get out to the marketplace, they just get so excited about that concept, right? And it happens to the best of us, even myself when I first got started. We get so excited and we just do. But the clarity is missing. And what happens when you're just throwing yourself out there like that without that intricate piece, without that clarity? You're all over the place, like trying to put missing pieces of a puzzle together. You know, you don't know where you're going, how you're going to get there. You become frustrated, you become overwhelmed, and lots of times what happens? People just give up. They just give up. So to take that time out in the beginning to sit down with yourself first and foremost, right? Because that's what it's going to take. so that you can get clear on what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, and where you're going with it.
The what, the how, and where.
Yes, absolutely. Didn't even realize I did that.
When we think about it, and I find that, on this journey, I found that I've had a lot of people, a lot of coaches that I've gotten with and paid tons of money to.
Yeah.
A lot of them focus so much on telling us that we need to understand who our target audience is.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I agree with that. So, I'm here to tell you all, understanding who he or she is is so important. But this is the thing that I believe that we should do first when it comes to getting clear, because sometimes we can't see, right?
Right, exactly.
So I'm going biblical. If y'all know me. Okay. I'm all about telling you, because biblically speaking, the Bible says, write the vision and make it plain.
Make it plain, my Lord.
So
true.
them that see it can run with it.
Yes.
Now, I always encourage people to read what's above it and what's up under that scripture so you can get the fullness.
Exactly.
But here's the thing when I think about it. When you break that down, write the vision and make it plain so them that can see it can run with it. Who needs to run with it first? How can you run if you don't see it?
That's right, exactly.
So you need to be able to see it first
That's right.
as the business owner.
That's right.
When you can see it, now you can begin to map things out, which brings on what?
Yes.
Clarity.
Absolutely.
It brings on clarity.
Absolutely.
And then it brings us to our topic of strategy.
Right.
Right? You cannot be strategic or operate strategically in any way if you're not clear.
Exactly. I'm going to give a classic example. So when I was sitting down and I was doing my business plan for the next year, right, because I wanted to change certain components of my offerings, right, as I found out what my audience wanted. And I'm sitting down and I'm putting it together. As I decided to put together the plan to market this, right? Because I thought I had clarity. I thought I had the full download.
We get into
picture,
that, don't we?
Okay. Then, as I'm sitting down and I'm creating this marketing strategy so I could bring it to the marketplace, I had to go backwards.
Backwards planning.
I had to go backwards, exactly, and really get clear on certain things that I thought was clear. I couldn't put a strategy together without that. I was lost in my own self. So I went back to the first step. And writing the vision and making it plain, how many times do I have to go back and reread that vision?
All day long.
Right? It reminds me, it sparks something in me, keeps me motivated. And when you read it, it could be the same words that you're reading over and over and over. But if you read it 10 times, 20 times, 30 times, different perception.
That's
every
it.
single time.
That's it.
Every time. So, yeah, most certainly. I love that.
It's like picking up the scripture and you read Proverbs.
Yes.
And then you come back to it later on. Every time I read Proverbs 31 woman,
Right.
it's like, oh, she's a unique woman. Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Same thing applies when it comes to business. I get people oftentimes asking me, what's the first step? And so I'm here to say, the first step is clarity.
Yes.
And if you're struggling with it, after you write it down, so you get what's in your head out of your head, down on paper, and yes, you will hear me hammer this in over and over again, even with our seasoned CEOs.
Yes.
Because I find that, I sat under your business plan boot camp, and, I've been in business 20-something plus years, but there were some things that you taught me in writing those things down that I didn't think about.
Right.
There were some things that I didn't learn when I went to, what do you call it, Small Business Association, SBA?
Yeah.
And, looking at these things and understanding that, you got to revisit stuff.
Right. You have to.
Over and over again. I like to say revisit my plan every quarterly. Let's just put it like that.
Absolutely. And that is the best thing to do it on a quarterly basis. If you are looking to achieve a certain money goal, because let's face it, Danette, we're in business. We love serving, right?
Definitely.
We have a servant's
It's
heart.
spirit of serving, that's
right?
it.
And God is using us to create certain frameworks in people's lives. But there's also a monetary piece.
That's it.
Okay, there's also a monetary piece. So there's so many entrepreneurs out there who own businesses that are doing businesses every day and they're not making the money.
At all.
And they're not. So you need to really strategically position yourself to make the money, to achieve those money goals.
So what is that, you all?
Right.
Plan.
Exactly.
So, again, as you can see, Margie and I both are Christian. We're faith-based entrepreneurs. We may not say that all the time, but it slips out. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to live without it.
Well, I agree.
But in a nutshell, when we think about planning, oftentimes we do run into Christians who think that planning is not a good thing because we're supposed to be operating off of what God says. Yes, we are, right?
Exactly.
Check up from the neck up.
That's right.
But there's a plan, and biblically he talks about all of that.
He sure does. I don't remember the scripture. My goodness, I hope it comes to me before we get off. But there is a scripture that tells you to plan, right? That tells you to plan. And, scripturally speaking, biblically speaking, yes, God gives us these ideas, but you also have to put action to it.
You got to.
You can't just go to sleep every day and say, okay, Lord, you're going to speak to me. What do I do tomorrow? What do I do on Wednesday? What do I do on Friday?
I'm all about that action.
Right? You've got to take action. And that's, if there is nothing else that you could do for yourself, two most major components. One, take the time out to get clarity.
True.
Take the time out to sit with yourself, to hear the voice of God, right? To write down things that's going through your mind.
That's it.
Right? And secondly, take that information and I'll formulate it into a plan.
Definitely. So let's get into the strategic side of it. So let's get further into it. We talked about the first step.
Yes.
And we both agree that we believe clarity is the number one step,
Yes.
right? But kind of sort of, when we think about clarity, we maybe need to back up and say the first step is to write the vision and make it plain.
Yes.
So get it out your head down on paper.
Absolutely.
So that's the first step. Once you see it, you can clearly see that vision is probably all gobbled up.
Yes.
Needs a little help.
Yes.
Okay, not just a little, maybe a whole lot, right? Now, I believe the next step in that would be to, once you get it out of your head, down on paper, so that you can move strategically, is that now you begin to compartmentalize.
Yes. Oh, I love that. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's with everything in life.
All day long.
Right. With everything in life. You take all of your ideas, compartmentalize them.
Compartmentalize
Compartmentalize them, right?
Sometimes.
Exactly. Compartmentalize it, and then you're able to move from there.
Definitely.
And this way, it's keeping you from being haphazard. You're
That's it.
like a ping pong ball,
That's
right?
it.
In and out, in and out. You focus on this block, that block, that block. Right?
So when you talk about blocks, when you think about compartmentalizing, we think about, okay, this is the administration side of my business. This is the marketing side of my business.
Yes.
Every area as business owners, right now, if you're new in business, you're going to be wearing all of the hats.
Oh, yes.
Right? And even if you're not new and you're seasoned, we all just had this unfortunate C word thing that happened, and a lot of people that have been in business for years no longer have their VAs, no longer have that help that they used to have. And so now you find yourself sitting in the seat by yourself wearing the many hats. Right? And I find, though, when you compartmentalize, you can see you can see things much more clear.
Yes, most certainly.
But here's the thing. What I believe you see most in that is what it is that you need to, what I say, keep it,
Yep.
scrap it,
Yep.
pause it,
Yes.
or delegate it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You wouldn't have been able to see any of those things.
Yes.
Had you not, one, got it out of here, down on paper,
That's
and
right.
don't let people make you feel some kind of way when you say, oh, we know about brain dumping and all of that. So why are you not doing it?
Exactly. And that's the thing. A lot of people, and a lot of us, we hear these terms all the time. People speak of them all the time, but we don't take the action to actually do it.
Well, it's the S in my first framework, simplify. Make things simple for yourself. Write it down so you can see it. Now you can compartmentalize it. So that's, when you're brain dumping, you just brain dump. You dump everything.
Right.
You go back to compartmentalize.
Right.
So now you can see. When you look at that, keeping it, pausing it, scrapping it, or delegating it, now you even know what's in your wheelhouse.
Exactly.
So I know on that list that I've compartmentalized,
That's right.
I know now I really don't want to do social media.
Right.
I know how to do it,
Yeah.
but I'm cheating that person out. I'm cheating her out over there,
Yeah.
who's that female CEO
Yeah.
that does this best.
Exactly.
If I give it to her, now she's in her zone of genius or
That's right.
optimization,
That's
whatever you
right.
want to call it.
That's right.
And I can stay in my lane
Exactly.
and focus on those things.
But here's the thing, Danette, and this is what I say to a lot of entrepreneurs out there, exactly what you were talking about. But be true to yourself. Be true to
Ooh,
yourself.
all day long.
It's not about, I know I could do this if I try. I could handle this. It's not about that. Is it your strength? Yes or no? There is no fine line for in between. Is it your strength? If it is not your strength, boot it.
That's it.
Boot it.
And now we're not saying boot it permanently.
Right.
Boot it from you doing it necessarily.
Yes.
Because we realize, Marjorie, that there's some things that we do. There's things that we need to have in our business, but it's just not in our wheelhouse.
Exactly. Yeah.
So when she says boot it, we're saying you don't do it. Give it to someone else.
Delegate it.
Delegate that
That's
thing.
right.
You know,
That's
put it
right.
over to someone else. That's part of being strategic.
That's right.
You
I
know?
have to say, when I started working on this particular project, and here's the term, I like creating. Did not say love. I like it. But this is what I experienced. That liking and trying to really push myself to do it because I thought I liked it kept me from fulfilling what I set out to do. Because I kept battling back and forth. That was not my zone of genius.
Gotcha.
When I delegated it, I was able to focus on my zone. And the other person who I delegated it to got it done super quickly. And together we meshed.
It was her wheelhouse.
Right? And it was fire from there. As opposed to me liking it, saying, you could do this, and struggling because I thought I liked it.
Okay.
Right?
I got you.
So.
I got you. So I want to tell you all, today we're here to empower you as that successful female CEO
Yes.
to take her life and her business, you know who you are, to the next level. And I truly believe that you can do this thing, but we need to do it strategically.
Yes.
You know, we don't want to just be, taking that mud. I always say it on all my shows. We're taking mud and throwing it up against a wall and expecting for it to stick.
Right.
Having some form of strategy is going to be the best way to move forward. And again, we gave a brief definition of what strategy or being strategic meant. First things first, getting clear.
Exactly.
Then when you get clear, now you can strategically move through plan, execute,
Yes.
because that's the other thing.
Compartmentalize.
We think about, I don't want to, because I talk strategy, I know a lot of times that word strategy scares people.
Yes.
Oh my God, here you are with this SMART methodology, Danette. No, Danette, we have to be specific. We got to measure things. We got to see if it's attainable. That means we got to be really what? We got to be realistic with a lot of stuff. And is there a time frame that we can get to these things? You have to do it. But I come from a space of simplifying that. And if we start with clarity, of course, when you get in clear, of course, start with writing a vision and making it plain first.
Yes.
Let me make that clear, right?
Yes.
But then we get into clarity. Then, we compartmentalize those different things. We can move forward and see a lot more clear, and then we can know what's truly in our wheelhouse. And we can also know if we decide that we have to pause something, that we can pick it back up, right? But we can see clear on just that step-by-step approach.
Right.
Stop overcomplicating things.
Yes. So true.
It's just time
And reread, and reread. I can't say that enough because the perception will be different every time you look at it. Why? Because you've learned something from an experience yesterday, right? So as you've written these things down, now you have that experience that you're looking through, right? You're looking at your framework through a different set of lenses. So that may change. The way you delegate, it may change the way you compartmentalize as well, right? So
definitely, I love
clearly
that.
that word is not for me.
Listen. I stumble across of it periodically too as well. But I'm excited that you all decided to join us here on this special live episode of Let's Talk Strategies. It's been a true honor to have you here, and just so that we can kind of have this strategy conversation.
Yes, it's been an honor to be here. And I love being able to empower our queens out there to do things strategically, to not give up on their purpose, and to be true to yourself.
That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
So, if you are not being strategic in your business and you're not quite sure where to start, you have Marjorie and I here to help you.
Absolutely.
I am Danette Moss. I hang out at a place called Let's Talk Strategies, home of the SaaS Factor. I'm all about helping you get your SaaS on in your business. I hang out here every Tuesday at 12 noon Eastern. Gotta say Eastern because I'm in that, I call it my favorite time zone for me, right? But I'm here at 12 noon Eastern every Tuesday. I hang out also on the Limelight Network, love that network, over on E360 TV. And I come here on a weekly basis to give you exactly what you need in your business to move forward. And honestly, I give you what you need in your life as well, because I believe life and business is the perfect blend. I don't believe in balance. You all hear me say that a whole lot, because I think when you talk about balance, you got to stop and start. Right? When you're blending, you know it has to be together. So either you're going to be here to see me every Tuesday, or you might see a special guest. You know, you never know who you might see, but what I can guarantee you is that you will get something that you can take and you can implement it literally in your life and in your business. And that's what I'm all about. Yes, this show here is, yes, it's for me to grow business-wise, but most importantly, it's here for you. Everything that I'm telling you, or that my guests may tell you, I promise you'll be able to take it if you implement it, if you take the actionable steps on it. You will begin to see and find the success that you want. Now, let's get realistic here. In business, it's not an overnight thing. This is why strategy is going to be so important. This is why taking the necessary steps, being strategic, taking those actionable steps in your business, you will begin to see the change. You'll begin to see the shift.
Strategy is what keeps you on board the ship for the long term.
You better know it.
For the long term.
Because you got to be strategic. You know, we all have competition. People out there. So I research that person. I can see what they're doing. So now what's my approach? How can I do these different things? You know, that's all in strategy. But Marjorie, I can go back up. You know, I just love talking. Let's talk strategies. I just want to invite you all to come back to us every Tuesday here at noon, because again, you're going to walk away with the tools that you need to succeed. You really are. I want to invite you to leave any comments. If you have any questions for us, feel free to, say something down in any comment section, because we air, like I said, over on Limelight TV Network. We're on E360 TV. We're on YouTube. We're on LinkedIn. Listen, I'm everywhere that the Father God will have me, so that I can help you literally put your business on rinse and repeat. So if you are that female CEO that you need this help, or you know of other female CEOs who operate in that space of overwhelm, make sure that you connect with us. Have them come over here and check us out. This is Danette Moss, your business systems and implementation strategist, a.k.a. the strategy lady. And joining me today is the awesome Marjorie Mallard. Marjorie, what's your title, girl? Because I always get it mixed up, because I know you're with the business plan expert and all that good old stuff.
So I'm Marjorie Mallard, your childcare business franchise consultant and your business strategist. So I've been in the childcare field 23 years, scaled my business from two-car garage to my own franchise brand. And what I do now also is I help women CEOs like yourselves work through those business complexities through the business planning process, so that you can reach your end goal. I'm very easily traceable. You can find me you can email me over at info@marjoriemallard.com, which is MarjorieMallard.com, or over at Instagram at I am Marjorie Mallard.
Awesome. Thanks so much for joining me,
You're
Marjorie.
welcome. Thank you for having me.
Got to have you back here in the studio soon.
Absolutely.
All right, you all take care. See you next time. This show was sponsored by... Are you feeling overwhelmed in your business, struggling to find the right balance? Try Digital CEO Systems, the all-in-one business management, sales, and marketing platform. With Digital CEO Systems, you can streamline your business, automate your processes, and achieve sustainable growth. Ready to take control of your business? Sign up now for our 14-day trial and experience the power of Digital CEO Systems. Don't let overwhelm hold you back. Transform your business today with Digital CEO Systems.